Morning! Right, how did I get to avian myopathy or whatever it's called? AMV. Well, oh, God's sake. Let me just buy this coffee. First of all, I was thinking on the white smoke. I've talked about that before. It's a meditation thing. I don't really know how it works. If it seems like a form of, what's it called? When you see the future. I've had a head injury. I know. I'm not a telepathy exactly, but scrying, fortune telling anyway. So these things come in a sort of, as I'm going off to sleep, and you do, it must be the Tao, it must be coming from the Tao, like transcendental meditation, a form of that. So empty your head, and like these things will just come. And it's, I call it the white smoke because it comes in white smoke, like the white smoke sort of comes through the space. Someone sent me blue smoke before, that was different. This just seems to come, it just comes. It's not a forced thing. So the other night, it doesn't happen all the time. It's not something I do intentionally. So there was a barracuda or an electric eel of some sort, or moray, fuck knows, I don't know, a big old eel comes. It's like, well, I'm just going to watch it. What is this coming? And last time this happened, there was all, like, the mites came. And then the dog had that thing, and I found the other day this, I managed to put it out of the paper as well. So all these parasites, so they came. Really hot, fucking interesting. But the other night was the eel, the barracuda or whatever it was. I didn't have time to identify it, I'm going to be honest. And then I was thinking about it afterwards. The things that I thought afterwards may have been worms, like parasitic worms, may have been other eels, because looking at pictures, they all look very similar. They look quite like tapeworms, don't they, and things like that. Well, facially. And smoke is smoky. Why has this come up again? Well, I don't know. I was thinking afterwards with Doodah and his new silver surfing mate, which they may have been attracting. Hey, I've just had a bat on the floor. Like the current of the hoverboards, I don't know how they work. I presume they've got some sort of current thing goes through them rather than just being magic. The sea's not magnetic, is it? So it's not going to work like that. That maybe the charge or stop using dumb words. You know what I mean? May attract other things. A bit like Jaws, basically. Plus, look, my bat fell off yesterday. May attract, like in Jaws. Did I just say that? I remember my dad going deep sea fishing in Cornwall or Devon after he'd watched Jaws when we were kids. It was the dumbest thing he could have done. Here's another Pisces. And he crapped himself apparently. But there we go. He's still with us now, I think. You have to do these things, don't you? But then I was thinking, do you know what? Doodah Day would probably have gone and fucking speared it and barbecued it, because I know that's your lifestyle, isn't it? That's your style. And then I was thinking further. I'm just overthinking, that's all. About the parasites in different things. Like, this is how my mind works. Yeah, I had a dream last night. You always do that though, don't you? Well, am I eating an apple pit? I know they've got arsenic in. I think it's arsenic in here. Thought patterns. I've got nothing else to think about at the moment, so I think about this. Pondering it. I wrote that thing when my fish died, Blurf, the fighting fish. He was going to go, if he comes back this way again, he'll have the strength of 10,000 men, which is probably true. One of the reasons I don't eat meat or fish, intentionally anyway, is so I can empathise slightly with spirits, those spirits. I know, I'm in my crow, my raven, my, what's it called, my crane, that's the Karate Kid. And it came up the other day about a parasite in someone's eye. There's parasites just going around all the time, aren't they? And I know enough about parasites to know they're everywhere. Anyway, so without them coming in bananas, My son's got a thing about bananas. He won't eat bananas. He's phobic about bananas, but I don't know. We were talking about it recently. And it may have been because, you know, the black bit in one end of bananas, that tiny little, I think it's the seed, where the seed would have been. I always used to tell my children up to the spider's egg. I'll take the spider's egg out. I know it's not a spider's egg. It's just a bit of a banana. But what else was I going to say? I was thinking about, oh, there, the AV. So I googled, because AV is like a current, isn't it? Is it? I had a head injury. So I was looking at this when I came down this morning. Well, I wasn't looking at it. It was just there, AVM. Now, that's there because I did my grandchildren and my daughter. And they were supposed to be fridge pegs I'm going to send up. I may change them. So one's called Ava, one's called Vienna, and the other one's for Mummy. So AVM. But I was then thinking about the AV voltage of the eels. So I googled in case AVM was a relevance to eels, but AVM came up in Google as avian my whatever that was affecting bald eagles, which is then going to seriously travel. That's it. That's why that came up. But it didn't affect mallards, apparently. They tried to infect them, but that's going to be everywhere anyway, isn't it? Fucking, let's blame them. The Chinese got blamed for, what's it called? Dolly's crying. What did Chinese get blamed for? What parvovirus? That last thing we had. COVID. Let's blame the Americans for bird flu. It's escaped from a laboratory, probably. I imagine. Probably on purpose. I'll probably think of some more things later on. I probably will. What's in this coffee? Oh, who cares? I trust the angels. I've said enough times, if we die, we get pulled out to be put somewhere more useful. Or because, I don't know. Keep a secret for at least a month. Well, I've got loads of secrets. Loads of fucking secrets. Why am I eating apples? They're cleansing. Well, theoretically, anyway. The oak. Well, I was going on about the oak, wasn't I? I've got some of those things in my pocket. Those wild walnuts. I don't know where they are. I only ate one, and I say one, and then I started spitting out. I knew at the time it was toxic, and I presume I've eaten acorns before. In a similar way, not much, because I know they are toxic, but I also know that my friend's horse ate them, and he said it was ill. It got like it was chewing oat bark, and then it got colic, and they'd spent like all night or something trying to make sure it didn't die. And so I said to him, do you know why it did it? Because we were both into this sort of herbal stuff, and he said, yeah, it's a liver or kidney, it's a detoxing thing, and this horse had been used in a laboratory. I think it's a lab horse at some point, and it also had some mercury vaccinations or something like that. So he theorised that it was trying to cleanse itself. So I imagine in a similar way. I've said before, I've had fact-based evidence. My spirit guides see ahead of what's going to happen. Like the time I ate that yew, like those 2 bits of yew, just before I got shot on the golf course by the I call it the bismuth plane. So my heart was already in irregular patterning, which probably did saved my life. I was supposed to have a heart attack on the golf course. But these things have happened enough times for me to have enough faith in it, essentially, for myself. So what appears to be like well, it does, doesn't it? It's like, because we've all seen Donnie Darko, but how we're moved by spirit, which will save us from something further on. So what looks like to be, you know, say you're ill, say you're ill and you can't make that day. Oh me, I can't make that day, I'm really ill. You may have got hit by a bus on the way out, see, or whatever, but you know what I'm saying, don't you? You know what I'm saying? Yes, you know. Good. Why do I keep drinking this coffee? Well, Mum didn't raise no quitter. Raise no quitter. Ma didn't raise no quitter. I look weak. I'm my new mate. Plus I'm a Romani woman. It's in my heritage. I have to drink loads of coffee. My Arabic brothers and sisters will be ditching me off. My Bedouin ancestry. Plus my husband bought it for me. And I'm wife number 2. You look rude. You want me to come over, I've got an excuse. Might be holding your hand, but I'm holding you loose. So you see, I'm rather tired. Happy Halloween! Oh, that's what I was thinking the other day. It said Illuminati Tarot about going to see a priest who might make you feel better. And guess what? Then I pulled the Page of Pentangles and laughed and laughed and laughed, because coin, it's often called, is it Jewish? Coin? I don't know how to say it for priest. I laughed so much. I laughed out loud. I rolled and rolled all around the bed. Go see a priest. If I finger death punch me, that's what. I love that. Do you know what? Fast moving energy though, the tarot. Pulling tarot to tarot. And when they came out, that was just, I laughed so much. So there was Queen of Pentacles. What was the other one? Love's in Reverse. What's the other one? And the King of Cups. What was the other one? I forgot. It was a good hand though, especially for Steve's Love Tarot. And my tarot does joke with me as well. It's done it before. It plays like, so Queen of Wands can sometimes just be like say drag energy, like drag artist energy, or it will mean different things. It depends what we're sitting with at the time. So she'll say Queen of Wands, she, for different reasons. Well, we know this. This is why there's different cards in the tarot, but yeah. Anyway, it's depending on what I'm thinking or doing at the time. It will have an effect on the cards. This is why Steve. Anyway, I think he's pulled before from my hand as a King of Pentacles. So I think the tarot probably will. I can't be able to talk about it anymore. I can't be able to say anymore. My tarot has verified Steve's love tarot as as having value anyway. But Queen of Wands can also be, I mean, it can be quite bitchy, can't it? It's like Queen of Winds. I called it before because wands and wind is the same thing. It's kind of with the wind, isn't it? So the Queen of Winds is like a biting, icy sort of. But winds is change. Could be anything really. Right, the dog's just taking a shit. I'm going to pick it up and take my coffee upstairs. We have to do it, don't we? We have to do it this way. It's karmic. Use paper. Okay, I'll use toilet paper. Christmas paper thrown over. I'll do it that way. Flush it down the bowl. We'll give the fish something to feed on as well. Spread the viruses around. I said this was coming, didn't I, in the summer when you spat in all my food and I gave it to the birds. What else was I saying? I can't remember. This bread. I've not had. Actually, I've had an apple. So you know why. Eight numbers on there. Eternity. Karma. Things keep coming back. The spirits. Oh, God, I know, that's probably the other thing I've got. They kept wrangling all that, so the comment I made about, oh, what was it? I probably did phrase it slightly badly, because I do that, and people would have taken offence to it, I imagine. What was it? If God had wanted men to be heterosexual, they wouldn't have made him that way. And I said, I think it's longer than that. It's a thing to do with evolution. Somebody did make, and everyone would have thought I was being homophobic as usual. But somebody had made a comment about, it's generations of fucking undoing that people are doing, but it's longer than that as well. Well, it is, isn't it? I mean, if you could put it down to God, then we wouldn't have... Do you know what? You can't say... It goes always, doesn't it? If God had wanted them to be that way, why is he then killing everyone with things like HIV? I know that's old, but... It's nothing to do with I don't know. Gender preferences? Oh, that's probably the wrong word. But there's still safe practice within that, isn't there? But it's long and bigger than that as well. It is bigger than that as well. It is evolution. I still haven't said it in depth enough. I can't be bothered. I know what I mean. And I think most people know what I mean as well. It's not always a case of born this way. Sometimes it is. I imagine. A lot of it's environmental. Well, what does that mean? Nature and nurture, I suppose. That's still all environmental. Stop talking. I don't have to. I wasn't born this way. I've developed this way. I know what you're saying though. I know. I'm gonna have coffee. Influence, society's influence. Say, my son who's gay, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But the fact, I mean, I was a child. Everyone does whatever. I've said this before. I was a teenager. It was not. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But, well, that's the same though, isn't it? It is society, like, and peer influence is why I, myself, ended up being promiscuous. I did it because we were going through, women, my peer group, were going through, well, do you know what, men can sleep around, Jesus Christ. We can do it as well. So that's why we did it. The sigh. That's why we did it. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but we were only fucking 15. This is what we did. What, 24? Yeah, well, everyone's different. Everyone's got different reasons for doing different things. But peer influence seems to be, it's quite cool in the gay scene just to have multiple partners, isn't it? For a multitude of reasons, which I can understand. I mean, and that isn't always safe. Like my son saying, when I was saying about monkeypox, I just passed that thing over to him. Just because it had just come out, well, I'd just seen it at the time. And he said, because it's in a thing, it's a lot of say gay and bisexual men were getting it. They said, oh, Mum, I don't sleep with tramps. It's like, well, I mean, and him just meaning, well, God, anyone. It could mean anything to anyone, doesn't it? A tramp could just be someone who's sexually, what's the word? Sleeps around, basically. Or used to us, anyway. Fucking hell, old tramp. Like the tramp stamps, you know. The tattoo at the back. Tramp stamps. It's like, you know. Dip and slip. You know, fucking go, basically. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, honestly, it doesn't matter, does it? All it takes is for one person that you've slept with to have slept with a tramp. I don't know. That's how it works. And it had been, I think, it had been ID'd to some dance event in Italy. I mean, from how it was worded, a gay dance event in Italy wasn't going to be entirely filled with tramps. Well, do you know what do you mean? Active gay men, I would have thought. I don't know, how do you get through to these people? You don't, do you? You just let it happen its own way. Dip and slip, mate. Dip and slip. Queen of Wands energy. Why is that right there? Because there was... I have to write things when I think of them. This is spirits pushing through. Look, I've left 8 of Wands on top. So that could mean different things. Well, yeah, it could mean different things. Of course it could. What did it mean? Well, it just meant he got an Ace of Wands. I thought there was going to be a message, an Ace of message